The motherboard.
Main circuit board or motherboard. It is the central nervous system of the computer and is often referred to as the mother of all components attached to it.
Motherboard functions.
It passes power from the power supply to the installed adapters, CPU, and memory modules.
It provides connection ports for the keyboard, mouse, and printer.
It integrates all the supporting functions necessary to make the CPU into a computer.
It acts as the communications infrastructure for the entire computer.
Parts of the motherboard.
BIOS chip.
BIOS is a read-only memory which consists of low-level software that controls the system hardware and acts as an interface between the operating system and the hardware.
North Bridge and South Bridge.
North Bridge. The North Bridge, also called the memory controller, is in charge of controlling transfers between the processor and the RAM, which is why it is located physically near the processor. It is sometimes called the GMCH for Graphic and Memory Controller Hub. South Bridge.
The South Bridge, also called the Input-Output Controller or Expansion Controller, handles communications between slower peripheral devices. It is also called the ICH or I/O Controller Hub. The term bridge is generally used to designate a component which connects two buses.
CPU socket.
The CPU socket is the central piece of motherboard, usually being located near the center of the motherboard. It's also the central piece because it holds the processor, the brain of your computer.
CMOS battery.
It is the small amount of memory on a motherboard that ensures that the BIOS does not lose all of its data every time the computer turns off.
Connectors.
Power supply connector.
The power connector, commonly a 20 or 24-pin connector, can be situated either near the right edge of the motherboard or somewhere close to the processor socket on older motherboards. This is where the power supply's main connector gets attached, providing power to the motherboard and all the other components.
IDE connector. IDE connector is more commonly known as ATA or parallel ATA. It is a standard interface for hard drives and CD or DVD drives. Floppy drive connector. It connects floppy drive to the motherboard. CPU pan connector. It connects the CPU fan to the motherboard. Front panel connector.
The front panel connector is where all the elements present on the front of your case are connected. Power button, reset button, power LED, audio connectors, and USB connectors. They are all connected to the front panel or the corresponding headers.
Expansion slots.
PCI slot. PCI slot is a connecting apparatus for a 32-bit computer bus. These tools are built into the motherboards of a computer and devices in order to allow for the addition of PCI devices like modems, network hardware, or sound and video cards. PCIe slot. PCIe is a serial expansion bus standard for connecting a computer to one or more peripheral devices.
Memory slot.
Memory slots is located in the upper right part of the motherboard. The memory slots are used to house the computer's memory module.
Ports.
Ports are physical docking points using which an external device can be connected to the computer. These are slots in the motherboard into which a cable of external device is plugged in.
Serial port.
It is an asynchronous port on the computer and capable of transmitting one bit at a time.
It is used to connect an exterior element or peripheral such as mice, gaming controllers, modems, and older printers.
Parallel port.
This interface is found at the back of older PCs. It is also called as printer port.
This port is used for connecting external devices such as scanners and printers.
PS2 port.
It is a type of port used by older computers for connecting input devices such as keyboard and mouse. It is often referred to as the mouse port or keyboard port.
USB port.
It can connect all kinds of external USB devices such as external hard disk, printer, scanner, mouse, keyboard, etc.
Audio ports.
It connects microphone, speakers to sound card of the computer. VGA port. It connects monitor to a computer's video card and it has 15 holes. Ethernet port. It connects to a network and high-speed internet and connect network cable to a computer, and data travels at 10 megabits to 1000 megabits per second depending upon the network bandwidth. Modem port.
It connects a PC's modem to the telephone network. Firewire port.
It was invented by Apple. It connects camcorders and video equipments to the computer and transfers large amount of data at very fast speed.
DVI port.
It connects flat panel LCD monitor to the computer's high-end video graphic cards.
Game port. Connects a joystick to a PC, but now replaced by USB port.
Epi, epi. have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. I have a pen. I have pineapple. Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen. Pen pineapple apple pen. Pen pineapple apple pen. P-P-A-P. I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. I have a pen. I have pineapple. Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen. Pen pineapple apple pen. P-P-A-P. I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. I have a pen. I have pineapple. Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen. Pen pineapple apple pen.